Thank you. Welcome, everybody. This is our 5th session in the ACE webinar series presented by ACE Baltimore and Build Your Path. Today's session is on the Built Environment College Pathways, and I thank you for joining us today. We have many amazing panelists or speakers that are going to talk a little bit about their programs of study. But first, I just wanted to go over a little bit of housekeeping per normal. As a reminder, if you are not speaking, can you please mute yourself using the microphone on the bottom bar? I can mute people, so if there are any issues, we just want to make sure this recording is very clear for our school professionals that are going to be using this and our parents and students who will be viewing it later. If you are muted and do want to speak either in your panelist portion or in the time of your Q&A, you'll just unclick the circle at the bottom that has the microphone on it and you'll be able to speak. For our students on the call that would like to ask any questions, please note the chat box feature that should be at the top of your bar. That is the best place to leave comments, but in the end portion of our presentation, that is when you're going to be able to ask questions to any of our presenters today. Next to the time on the top right, there are 3 shapes, a triangle, square, circle. If you click on that, you will see a Q&A feature. That Q&A feature will allow you to put questions in, and we'll make sure we address them time permitting at the end of the session. So I'm going to be back to speak a little bit later about some programs at the end, but I'm going to start by passing it over and have our presenters introduce themselves upon their turn. So first up, we have Capital Technology University. I'm going to pass it over to Samantha, who I believe is on the call. So.
Yep, I'm here. Hi, sorry, my camera's acting wonky right now, but I am here.
Okay. Perfect. I'm going to talk a little bit about your program and introduce yourself. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Am I able to share my screen? Am I able to share my screen?
I muted myself. Yes, I'm going to stop presenting right now, and then you'll be able to present it.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yes, sorry about that. Thanks so much.
No worries. All right. Okay. So Capital Technology University. So we are currently the only private university in the state of Maryland that focuses solely in the fields of engineering, cybersecurity, computer sciences, and top technology management. So all of our programs are going to be focused solely in the fields of technology. Now we're located here in Laurel, Maryland, midway between Baltimore and Washington, D.C. We have perfect location for anybody looking to go into technology. We're right across the road from the NASA Goddard Space Flight Center, with whom we have worked with a long time, and a lot of our students are working there. A lot of their employees are also teaching at Capital as we speak. So here's a list of all of the programs that we offer, many of which are ABET accredited. The Construction Management and Critical Infrastructure program kind of started a series of construction management programs that we have started offering. But this program is probably the most popular. It will teach you how to manage a variety of different construction projects, anywhere from housing development to nuclear power plant facilities. And it also incorporates some cybersecurity training as well, which is what makes it very unique. And in fact, a lot of our programs actually incorporate at least a foundation in cybersecurity, just because with today's technology infrastructure, we don't only have to worry about weather, now we have to worry about hackers. So that's why we incorporate a lot of cyber into our programs. Another popular one is the Mechatronics and Robotics program, because everybody likes to build robots, and this program actually combines mechanical engineering with electrical engineering and some computer science. And then our Unmanned and Autonomous Systems program is another unique one. It focuses in drone technology, so you'd be learning how to design, build, and operate driverless vehicles, so AKA drones. So these drones can go anywhere from outer space to staying on the ground. They can go all the way to the bottom of the ocean. So we will teach you all of that. And then we have the basics of computer engineering, electrical engineering, astronautical engineering deals specifically with satellite infrastructure. So a list of all of our scholarships. As you can see here, I highlighted the ACE Mentor Scholarship. So anybody who is in ACE in junior or senior year will automatically get $5,000 a year to study at Capital. We have merit scholarship as well. We are SAT optional this year, so we're going to be looking at the number of advanced level courses that you're taking in lieu of the SATs, and that means AP, IB, PLTW, and honors courses as well. And we only look at the weighted GPA, which is nice. Fast facts. So we're a small school. We have 450 undergraduate students, 12-to-1 student-teacher ratio. So something that's very important to our students and to us is that you have a lot of hands-on project-based learning experiences, and you have a lot of one-on-one time with the faculty. So a lot of your classes are going to incorporate some sort of teamwork-based project, because that's what you're going to see, going into the technology and engineering industry. You're going to be working on teams more often than you're working by yourself. And so that's what you'd be doing in most of your classes. We are very diverse. 60% of our students represent a minority population. 80% of students receive some sort of financial aid. And then 82% of our students had a job offer within 90 days of commencement, which shouldn't be that big of a deal. Going into a tech field, you should be able to find a job within some time of graduating. With Capital, our students typically start out making between $60,000 and $70,000 a year. And a lot of that is because they already started out with an internship within their program where they're actually getting the experience that other employees in that technology sector or organization would be getting. So here is some of the internship opportunities we see our students going to most frequently. Some of these might seem familiar, some may not. But the good news is they're all pretty local and nearby our school. So when they go to these organizations, they're not fetching coffee or entering data into an Excel spreadsheet. They're actually doing the work, that a Lockheed aerospace engineer would be doing, right? And that's that type of hands-on, practical-based learning experience that we emphasize for our students. And at the end of the day, if you can't find a job, we will help you out. So the capital commitment is something that we offer, which is very unique to us. We guarantee that you'll find a job within 90 days of graduation in your field with a competitive salary. And if you don't, then we'll offer you up to 36 undergraduate credits completely tuition free. Yeah, so no worries. We got you covered. Here are the admissions requirements. As you can see, we only look at the weighted GPA. 2.5 minimum for non-engineering, 3.0 for an engineering. But we have been flexible. We're willing to work with you. And then this is me. So if you want any more information, feel free to get in touch with me in any of these ways. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Samantha, thank you so much. As I mentioned, students on the call, students, teachers, or parents, if you have any questions, we'll be taking them at the end. Next, I'm going to pass it over to Fairmont State University. I see we have Mr. Kelly on the phone, I believe, on the call today. I hope so. Oh, the joys of technology.
Yes.
Hello. Oh, hello. Perfect. Great. Okay. Welcome. I'm going to turn the floor over to you. Feel free to share your screen or talk a little bit about Fairmont. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, let me try to share a screen. It's not coming up. Let me.
I don't think it's shared.
Yeah. Oops. Anybody hear me?
Yes. Is there? Do you see the now on the bottom?
Let me go back to
There, the recruiting. Okay, click on, yeah.
That's me. Okay.
Yeah, it's there.
Thank you. Are we seeing something now?
Yes. It looks like a presentation is coming in.
Okay. It's not. Sorry. For well, I'm not going to full screen.
You can click on PowerPoint on your screen at the bottom. Yeah. 'Cause- 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 'cause-
not going to full screen for some reason.
We can see it. I know it's not ideal if you did want to flip through.
Let's see if this happens.
Okay.
How about that? Can you see something?
We can see a map. Yep.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Hi. I'm Bob Kelly, a professor in the architecture program at Fairmont State University in Fairmont, West Virginia. I'm here with one of my graduate students, Kendall Cowan. In case you're not familiar with us, we're pretty much directly west, about 3.5 hours. If you see on the map there, so we're over where it says, Fairmont State University. If you're familiar with architecture at all, there's a building by Frank Lloyd Wright called Falling Water. It's probably one of the most famous houses in the world that's about 60 miles from here. This is our campus. It's on the edge of Fairmont, West Virginia, a compact, smaller campus. We have about 4,000 students. Surrounded by hills and a lot of green. This is our student center, the Falcon Center. And this is about the architecture program. We have a 2-year associate degree. We have a 4-year pre-professional Bachelor of Science in Architecture. And we have a 1.5-year professional Master of Architecture degree that we're working on getting accredited. I think we're about 2 years out for that. So just a scene of our campus, our student center there. And we have very competitive tuition and lots of good financial aid and lots of other activities on campus. We typically, our athletic teams recruit a lot of people from Northern Virginia, DC, Baltimore area. And so you might have some friends coming here for that reason too. This is me, and you can certainly find our university by Googling Fairmont State and going into and looking for architecture there. But this is my contact information. So we're basically, I'm promoting the architecture program today. We also have some engineering technology and some cybersecurity, but I'm here for architecture. So if you have any questions at the end, you can find me and ask those. And I'll see if Kendall would like to say anything about the program. Not covering. She's here if there are any student questions, but.
Great, thank you so much. I know you have a question about contact information for everybody. I saw that come in. I know I said I'd take questions at the end, but I did want to mention all contact information is going to be posted in the Google Drive in the recording. So I'll be collecting that from our panelists today. And then for all of you who have accessed our recordings, it will be located within that Google Drive. If you would like, if you are a panelist, to drop your contact information into the chat box for immediate retrieval from those on the call today, that would also be very helpful, but we'll make sure that it gets out fully to all of our students, parents, and teachers through the Google Drive that they can access the recording in. But thank you very much, Mr. Kelly, for presenting that today. Next, we're going to pass it over to Morgan State, Dr. Waller. I know you're on the call. If you would like to present your screen and take it away.
I'm going to try. So I'm not using this platform much. So add a window here. Okay. Okay. First introduce myself. I am Dr. Waller, the chairperson, construction management, Morgan State University, and I'm with my colleague today, Dr. Kamalesh Panty. And we come today to basically present our program, which we have seen tremendous changes over the last few years. So first thing we're going to talk about why and how do you become a construction management student and what is about our program. These are the most important things that we look at. First thing we do is educate our students. We train them. We make sure we provide them working experiences and license as we go through the process, why would you pursue a degree in this? As you see here at our university, major challenges, a lot of building in the last few years, and our students have been engaged on the job site, but yet also working facilities there. So this is some things that we put down, we thought was essential, because in this field, this degree allows you to become a project engineer. Secondly, it allows you to be a manager on the job site, a superintendent, quality control, quality system managers, and also a safety manager. Also, with in the concept of estimator, schedule, and also contract administration management process. So those are some essential things. So let's talk about our curriculum. In the last couple of years, we have made
Dr.
some.
Waller, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Were you sharing? We can't see. If you're sharing a screen, we can't see. Oh, there we go. Okay. I think Dr. Patty is presenting it. So sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure everyone could.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sharing it for Dr. Waller if he's
great.
having trouble.
So sorry to interrupt you, Dr. Waller. Please.
You get. So once again, Dr. Panther, thank you. Whoops on number. You can go down to our curriculum. Dr. Panther, can you go to the curriculum? Okay.
Let me see if I'm. Okay. Do you?
Can you see it now, the curriculum?
I
We
shared.
were on it. Yeah, if you go back a few slides, we were on it.
Okay, so let's talk about our curriculum a little bit. So in the last few years, Dr. Penton and myself and our colleagues have changed the whole curriculum for our program. So our program consists of 120 credits now. And in our curriculum, we extremely focus on the concept of technical concept, architecture, and the engineering concepts to make sure that our programs are meeting the needs and the challenges that are in the field. So in the last year, we decided to change from ACC accreditation procedures and guidelines and change over to ABET and SAC. So we thought it was crucial when we began to get feedback from our advisory board, the necessity, the growth, the transition, the changes. There was a necessity in the field. So we changed over once again from ACC accreditation. Now we're going for our ABET accreditation. Secondly, about our curriculum, what is so essential that our students can attain a minor degree in business administration, and basically they don't have to take any other extra credits. We implemented these classes within our curriculum, and we also met with our colleagues in the business program. So we have had students in the last year or so that has graduated with 2 degrees. Okay, Dr. Penn. So next thing we talk about is the highlights of our programs. We're located in one of the state-of-the-art building called the Seavers Building, which is basic. If you have opportunity to meet our building, we are in the building with the engineering department, transportation system department, and basically we have the state-of-the-art labs in those buildings, and it's been phenomenal to see the things that have taken place there. Another thing that's so significant about our program is in order to graduate, our students must, because we put in our curriculum, must do internships and also collaborate in co-ops. Well, and with the last year, we have 100% job placement. If the students are not going into the field, then they're coming back to get their degree in the master's program, which Dr. Panther would talk about. One thing is so important about our program is that all our faculty, especially our adjunct faculty, they work in the industry every day. They are the senior project managers of companies and so forth and so forth, but they are engaged in teaching classes, and everybody on our advisory board are inclusive in, taking opportunities to be engaged in providing resources for our classroom. One thing about our advisory board, when we began to make changes to make sure that we're meeting the expectation, the employability skills, the skills that are needed in this area, they was there. They gave us insight, what was needed for our program. Another thing that's important is about our student organization, and our students engaged with the CMAA. Also, in the last few years, CMAA has been more inclusive in our work area. They are providing us with scholarships for our students, even in the next year or so, grantmanship. So that's been a plus. In the last few years, we have had our own career fair. And last year we had over 50 companies, and that's why it's so important that our students are getting jobs and they're being effective in this industry. And as we continue to move forward, for our new students that come in, we do mentoring, and also in our school, in the CBIS school, we have an in-house career specialist who works one-on-one with our students to make sure they understand the concept of the career path, work with their resumes, learn how to be able to do when you go to the career fairs for job opportunities. So those things are crucial, and we continue to move forward. Dr. Panty? So the next thing here we talk about is if you look at this industry, and it's steady growing, and the data keeps saying in the next few years, in the next 10 years per se, that this industry is going to continue to grow by 8%. So it's a plus for students are getting in this area. The basic scale here, if you look at the median pay, is between $45 per hour up to $95,000 per year. I have to be honest, I've seen students graduating with over $80,000 in the last year. So it's a significant, this field is going to continue to grow. There's going to continue opportunities in this area for students that want. Another thing that we do in our program, we do teach our students to be successful for us getting certificates. So our students are able to get LEAD certificate, Pro Card, CMIT Level 1, Timberline in estimating. And when you look at this slide, this is me and Dr. Panty and our dean and other people that went with us to Hensel Phelps. And if you see the picture behind that, in Hensel Phelps, this is what we call the $1 million wall. When people work with this company over 25 years, you become that millionaire. So me and Panty had got the chance, and you look at them, they have been so supportive to our programs. They gave us the latest concept of laser technology for our surveying equipment. So it's been amazing. And if you look at this workforce, if you look at the self-employed workers, 38%, special trades, 18%, non-resident building, 15%, resident building construction, 10%, and the heavy civil side, 17%. So we look at this area as a continued growing field, and we continue to look for greater works at Morgan. This is our student organizations that are really engaged again in mentoring, also working around the universities, working in the community, making sure that we are visible doing our work. And even in the last few weeks, Dr. Penta and a couple of students was engaged in the CMA workshop. So it's been tremendous changes in the university in the last few weeks. And this is probably my last one. Talk about the active learning building concept. We do believe in active learning building components, having the students engage, understanding the building concept. So I think this has been essential and crucial for our programs. And at this time, I'm going to turn to Dr. Panty.
Thank you, Dr. Waller. Hi, this is Kamalesh Panty. I'm the graduate program director in construction management here at Morgan State. So this is a relatively new program. We just started 1.5 years ago, and we started with just 4 students in the first semester, and we have now grown to 18 students. So and it's growing. We have it's a 30 credit 1 year, like 2 semester, if you want to do it full time. So 5 courses per semester, and you are done within 2 semesters. And we have students that have graduated within a year. But you could, if you're working and you want to take 1 or 2 courses, that's also fine. And you could, graduate within 2 years. So we have electives offering from project management, which is in business school, industrial engineering, architecture, and so on. We offer curriculum option for non-CM majors, but they have to take some prerequisite courses. So if you had English major and you want to do construction management, you have to do some foundation courses, and you can get into a program. Who is eligible to apply to this master's, BS degree in civil engineering, architecture, CM, business, and many others. But they need to have, if they are non-CM background, they need to have foundational courses, additional foundational courses. So the other requirement is that you need to have a GPA of at least 3, or if you have below GPA of 3, you need to, after enrolling, you need to take some courses here at Morgan State that will acquire you 3 GPA, and you can proceed, you can transfer those courses as your master's courses. Why apply at construction management program at MSU? We have enormous internship and career opportunities, as Dr. Waller talked about, almost 100%. The campus is located in an urban area, so there is a booming construction. We have a lot of growth in the campus itself, a lot of construction job sites. So we take our students, to these job sites, walk to the job sites, learn more about construction management. So these serve as a living labs for our students. It's a great diversity. The program, both undergraduate and masters, have international, traditional students, non-traditional, minority students, some students who work full-time in the industry and come for the courses in the evening. We offer CMIT certifications with the help of CMA Baltimore chapter. It has been very active. Everyone gets a CMA membership for free, so it's been a blessing. We also have, because we offer courses in the evening after 5:30. Students can arrange to work during the daytime and come for the courses in the evening. And that's what more than 90% of our students are in the master's program. Well, if you have any questions, I will answer them at the end of the session. Thank you.
Dr. Raleigh and Dr. Panthy, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I know for those of you who did have our time, we're a few minutes behind. That should be no problem. I'm going to pass it over to Neil, who is here from University of Maryland, and talk a little bit about the School of Engineering and the program over there. Neil?
Okay, Kimberly, can you hear me and see me? Everything good?
Yes. Yeah, everything's great.
All right, we solved the IT problem. Good. Hi, everybody. I'm Neil Schulman. I'm an adjunct professor at the University of Maryland. I teach in the Civil Engineering Department in the Clark School of Engineering. And I'm going to focus a little bit on the undergraduate program today, since we've got a lot of high school students out there in the background. But basically, the undergraduate students typically wishing to pursue a career in construction project management will have a big advantage if they have a working knowledge of the fundamentals of managing construction. And in the Civil Engineering Department, we have a construction project management minor. And that program, along with the full degree program, generally provides a very competitive advantage to the students who graduate in our program. We have great adjuncts, adjunct professors, and full professors. The adjunct professors, for those of you in the high school arena, just to clarify, are typically professors that come from the real world of construction as practitioners, but also teach. My background is in construction, working for a lot of several general contractors and owners. So I try to bring the real world experience to the students. We at Maryland in the engineering school have great facilities. We have a great civil engineering lab that we just rebuilt about 2 years ago. We have a lot of clubs for the students, activities, competitions. One of the very interesting competitions that I happen to like is the concrete canoe competition, where the students build canoes out of concrete. And yes, the canoes do float. The concrete's very thin, but they do a great job, and every year they fine tune it. Continuing on in the minor of construction project management, when completed, generally the students have a great understanding of the construction management concepts, the tools, techniques, and are basically able to provide a productive competition and contribution in their first employment after graduation. the percentage of students getting jobs after graduation as of 2 years ago was 100%. I'm not sure what the new numbers are from the past June, but I'm sure it was high. We also have some great internship programs available for the students. But basically, the minor and the civil engineering program aligns the students with career paths leading to increased management responsibilities. Just to give you some idea of the courses, I happen to teach construction project management one semester, sustainability in another semester, which is a very growing aspect of engineering and construction. And I also teach cost engineering and control. And my theme in that course is happiness is positive cash flow. We talk about money, so it's not just construction. But some of the core courses for those of you in the undergraduate area, we have building information modeling. For those of you not familiar with that term, BIM, it's basically using a three-dimensional plus computer design component to construction. We've got introduction to construction project management, a course in project planning, estimating, and scheduling, communications, which is real important in engineering, and construction documentation and BIM. We've got some elective courses in sustainability, methods and materials. What does it take to build a construction project, whether it be residential, commercial, industrial, highway, transit, etc. Integrated project delivery, which is different methods of project delivery of contracting with an owner and a general contractor for the construction of a project. And then there's also a couple of related courses in the legal aspects of architectural and engineering practices, as well as some cost accounting. So we've got a pretty diverse program. We also have a master's program where I focus most of my time. It's a master's program. It's an engineering program with an emphasis on project management. We've got courses, both undergraduate and graduate, during the day, during the evening. We also have Zoom classes. One of the very interesting things is in our program, we've been using the Zoom format program for over 10 years. So when we got hit with this pandemic blast in mid-March, most of the University of Maryland had a little difficulty switching gears, but fortunately our program was seamless and we just kept on going. Unfortunately, we didn't have any more in-person classes, but we were able to adjust to the Zoom program very easily, and it's really a robust program, and many of the students like it. Many of the students are part-timers. They work during the day, and they have the opportunity to take some of these classes at night on Zoom. So those are the highlights, and certainly Kimberly will give you my contact, but it's nrs@umd.edu, and welcome any questions. So I think those are the high points, Kimberly.
Neil, thank you. That was great. It was a very great highlight. And on a similar path, also from University of Maryland, we have Brent from the School of Architecture, Planning, and Preservation. So Brent, I'm going to pass it over to you to finish us off today.
Can everyone hear me? Lovely. Sorry, I'm getting older and I'm struggling with more and more of the technology as the years pass. All right, let me pull up my presentation and let's see. Ooh, there's everybody. Can everyone, is my screen visible?
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
All right, beautiful. Sorry. Hi, everyone. My name is Brent Hernandez. I am Director of Student Services in the School of Architecture, Planning, and Preservation, although we call ourselves Maryland's Built Environment School. Obviously, from the name, we do a lot with architecture. However, our academic goals or career goals of our students also will lead them into careers in planning, preservation, and real estate development. For as far as undergrad is concerned, we offer 2 degree tracks. Students can pursue either a Bachelor of Arts in Architecture or a Bachelor of Science in Architecture. In regards to the Bachelor of Arts, it is a pre-professional liberal arts degree, and one of its strongest benefits is that it offers flexibility in a student's academic course plan. And we do encourage students who pursue the Bachelor of Arts to strongly consider a minor, and we'll talk about some minors to consider when going through the Bachelor of Arts curriculum. Our Bachelor of Arts, while it doesn't require a lot of studios, it does require at least 1 studio course with the option of taking 2 more if students are that interested in studio courses. The Bachelor of Arts can be a pathway to becoming a licensed architect. It can be a pathway to become a licensed architect. If students pursue the Bachelor of Arts and are determined to become a licensed architect, we strongly encourage them to apply and earn and pursue a master's degree in architecture. It is our accredited degree. It is recognized by the NAAB. And with a Bachelor of Arts in Architecture, our master's in architecture is usually between 2.5 and 3.5 years. And then we do offer funding opportunities. So we help students to bring the cost of a master's program down. I mentioned earlier that we strongly encourage students to pursue a minor if they are on a Bachelor of Arts track. Minors that are housed within our specific school is construction project management and real estate development. The construction project management minor is actually something, a joint venture that we have with our School of Engineering. And as Professor Schulman mentioned, students are able to find lucrative careers upon graduation with, for us, a Bachelor of Arts in Architecture and a minor in construction project management. So it does indeed enhance one's resume and profile for prospective employers. Students are also able to find jobs upon graduation if they earned a Bachelor of Arts in Architecture and a minor in real estate development. We host a career fair every spring in the School of Architecture, Planning and Preservation at the University of Maryland. This past year, right before the pandemic, right before we went online, we hosted an in-person career fair where 85 firms showed up. 90 requested to be there. Unfortunately, we could only fit 85, but they were looking for students or graduates of our program, and they were also looking for students with minors in either construction, project management, or real estate development. A growing field is sustainability. While we do not house that in the School of Architecture, Planning, and Preservation, that is a popular minor with many of our architecture majors. As I mentioned before, we also offer a Bachelor of Science track. It is a pre-professional architecture degree. This is the most direct path to becoming an architect. While it's not the only path to becoming an architect, it is the most direct path. One of the benefits of our program is that students will take 4 studio courses in their academic career, their undergraduate academic career, with the option of taking a 5th studio if they would prefer. Those courses are offered Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. The Bachelor of Science, it is a bit more structured because of those 4 required studio courses, but students leave and graduate with a large portfolio and a lot of experience in design and building. While it is very structured, students have been able to pick up a minor and sometimes 2 minors depending on that academic course plan. So while we say it is structured, there is some flexibility there. Our Bachelor of Science, while students have been able to, students have been hired by architecture firms upon graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Architecture. We strongly encourage our students on our Bachelor of Science track to pursue a master's, and we actually have a 4-2 master's program that is an accredited degree. And when those those architecture firms came to that career fair that we offered, they were looking for students who were graduating from our 4-2 master's, Bachelor's of Science program. Our Bachelor of Science is competitive admission, so students are required to, if they're interested in that, they should apply. They'll submit a transcript, GPA, portfolio review, and professional interest. And so the great thing about this process is that we will work with students to help them develop and enhance their portfolio to be competitive for this process. Takeaway messages. The BA, the Bachelor of Arts and the Bachelor of Science, both are tracks to becoming a licensed architect. So you can go either path. The Bachelor of Science is just a bit more direct. The Bachelor of Arts, accompanied with a minor in construction project management or a minor in real estate development, enhances students' job placement upon graduation. And then even though students are able to find jobs with a Bachelor of Science in Architecture or a Bachelor of Arts in Architecture from the University of Maryland, College Park, we strongly encourage our students to make themselves more marketable, to consider a master's degree. And that's where we kind of expand, where we do a lot more than architecture. While we do offer a master's in architecture, we also offer master's degrees in historic preservation, real estate development, urban studies, and planning. In fact, we found that those students who graduate with a Bachelor of Arts in Architecture and minor in real estate development have been able to find jobs at local real estate development firms. But we always want to encourage them to continue their education. Here's my contact information. You can screenshot that right quick or take a picture. I will also put it in the chat, and I will stick around for questions at the end. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. I want to say quickly, I cannot thank enough for our presenters today taking time out of their days to talk about your programs for our students, both live and the recording. I'm going to give a last call to all of our attendees on the list on the call today, to put questions in the question and answer portion. We did have the one, but while I give that a minute for people to type any questions they have, I want to share one last item. Students, as you can see, we have a great representation of different programs, all four-year programs, some discussing master's programs. I wanted to make sure that you all are aware that there are community college programs. I know we've had many questions about that. On my screen, you can hopefully see this education map. This is for Maryland schools, which I know most of our students are. I'm going to put this link in the Google Drive as well as in our chat. But this is mccei.org's education map. And if you click on the community college filter, you are able to see community colleges that have built environment programs. And based off of the majority of our registrants today, I wanted to highlight a few specific websites that you could check out. Before I do so, I want to mention our goal is to have a webinar beginning of the spring on community colleges and the programs that are in the area for our East Baltimore students. So more to come, but as you are exploring these, I would like to make sure you are aware of CCBC, for instance, the Community College of Baltimore County. There are many different programs, architecture, engineering, construction management programs, as well as non-degree accredited programs, which we'll talk about in 2 weeks at our apprenticeship webinar as a reminder. Anne Arundel Community College and their architecture, interior design, engineering. All of these links will be located in the Google Drive, as well as Howard County and the many CAD design, construction management degree, and apprenticeship. There'll be more webinars on this, but I know many of you came here wondering about these programs as well. So I wanted to make sure you know the resources are headed your way and more to come on this. Let me get out of presenting, because I know for time purposes, let me make sure we have no other questions. I know we are a little over our time, and thank you all for your patience. It looks like at the time we have no other questions. As a reminder, information that you've heard today, specifically contact information and necessary links, will be compiled and put in the Google Drive by tomorrow. Thank you, students. I've received many questions about the recordings. They will all be in that Google Drive as well. And I want to remind you of our upcoming sessions for next week. One being what is facilities management, which I know you've attended a lot of our what is industry sector series. And lastly, our scholarships to know about. I want to underline that for those attending this session today. I'm sure you are here thinking about your built environment college pathway. And with that comes funding for those programs. So we're compiling up some scholarships you should know about, both connected specifically to universities and also third-party scholarships. So please make sure you're attending that session. That is 1 week from today at 3 p.m. The week after, we'll have our skill trades and apprenticeship conversations. But I thank you all so much again. Students, teachers, and parents, thank you for joining. Our presenters, I can't thank you enough for taking your time today. This was wonderful, and you'll have access to the recording as well. I hope you all have a great afternoon, and thank you again.